Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about the importance of a correct technique. I just want to highlight it at the end of the day, and I have said this in one of my other videos, that you get all these trainers out there, the gurus, that they just want to use all these fancy words and they want to, twist your wrist that way and put this fancy word there, so you're going to, feel like they know everything and sign up for them. But at the end of the day, it comes down to intensity. So technique is really important in the gym, but at the end of the day, when you're a bit buckled and fatigued, it's not the be all end all. As long as you're not doing anything stupid in the gym, but your technique and your form is not always going to be 100% in the gym, and that's just the way it is. Unless you're lifting light weights and you're really, you're not pushing up to that failure point, which is the way I want you to train. So at the end of the day, I've said in a lot of my videos, you never want to lock out when you're training, because you want to save those joints. And plus, when you lock out, it just makes the exercise far too easy. I've seen people in the gym doing heavy squats, maybe 160 kilos, and they'll do one or two, but they're locking out at the top and they're in that rest period. They're not actually pushing their muscles to actual failure. So it's always important to make sure you do breathe when you're training. Breathing is one of the most important things. You imagine doing a marathon and holding your breath for the first 500 meters, you're just going to pass out. So I see so many people doing lap pull downs, and I walk up to them and put my hand in front of their mouth and they're going red because they're not breathing. A lot of the guys, the bigger guys that you'd see, like all the famous bodybuilders like Jay Cutler and Monty Coleman, they actually make a lot of noise when they train. You'll hear them grunting and moaning and pushing, because they're pushing past that failure point, and they're breathing, and they're making sure that oxygen is going into their muscles. And actually doing this is proven to actually boost your testosterone levels. So it's really important to try and keep the best technique you can. Like, you want to keep your shoulders rolled back and down. You don't want to be hunching, and you always want to try and keep a neutral spine. If you are doing a chest move and you feel it in the front of your shoulders, then you have to sort of have a look at what you're doing. Like, roll your shoulders back and down and try and find that chest. Remember, with my sort of training, it's pushing to failure. It's squeezing your muscles. It's absolutely making sure you're not locking out, so you're keeping that tension on the top or the bottom of the rep, depending on what your reps are, and making sure you're giving it 110%. A lot of people in the gym, they do like the deads or squats or bench wrong. So I do suggest looking at getting into the one-on-one coaching and try and get into getting proper tips and habits, or even just jump onto YouTube. I used to do this a lot when I was young, and or I'd go to the gym and just watch people and see what they do. I'm a big fan of, like, if I see someone doing something wrong in the gym, I'll pull them up on it, because doing those lockout squats, or rolling forward and having that curvature in your spine, it might not hurt you now, but down the track it will. So I think it's important. And in the culture I do have at Body Beyond Limits, is all our members will pick someone up if they're doing something wrong and help them out. And I think that's what the culture should be in the gym. So just remember, guys, the best things you can do is just remember, you're going to get to that 4 sets of 12, where I want you to fail in that week, and you're going to get to those last few reps where you might be swinging, but you don't want to let momentum do the work. But at the end of the day, as long as you're pushing with 100% of training intensity, then you can't go wrong. So remember, guys, make sure you breathe, don't lock out, make sure you keep that neutral spine, and also make sure you're feeling it in the right area. You don't want to be feeling a squat in your back. So keep on pushing, train hard.